Hosted in conjunction with Chris Media, the CEO interview series allows investors to hear directly from the CEOs leading the companies featured on Wholesale Investor. Enjoy the interview and reach out via the details in the description.
Hi and welcome to another Crisp TV Q&A. Today I'm joined by CEO Jerry Komenos of Hydrolite International. Thank you for joining me, Jerry.
Thank you, Sydney, and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Now, Jerry, just to set us on the right course today, how about you give us a high overview of Hydrolite International, who you are and what you bring to the energy storage space?
Okay, so Hydrolite International is a unlisted public company formed in Australia. We have about 100 shareholders. We have a well-credentialed board with some very high-profile businessmen, both here in Australia and overseas, particularly in Asia and Europe. We've put together a highly credentialed management team, which is starting to really commercialize our technology and our products. Hydrocell or Hydrolite has developed Hydrocell technology, which is a water-activated battery fuel cell. So just think of a battery in the form of a C cell, a D cell, a 6-volt battery, and potentially AA's and AAA's, and we'll speak about that a little bit later. Ours is a water-activated fuel cell. So you dip it in water, and it creates a natural reaction, creates electricity. So for all intents and purposes, think about a battery that is water activated. The three main characteristics of the Hydrocell is it has longevity of shelf life, so it retains 100% of the power until you activate it in water. It is environmentally friendly, so we have no poisonous chemicals or toxins in our cell. And thirdly, it has improved performance over traditional batteries.
Understood. Now, I did read, when we'll go into that differentiation a bit later on, but I did read a bit about your business profile ahead of the interview, and I came across the phase to become a real and commercially viable alternative to dry cell batteries. Would you consider this to be your main value proposition number one, and why is it needed in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. That is our main business and value proposition. Our ultimate aim is to and we're pretty open and blunt about this. We really want to become a competitor to Duracells, Energizers, and the other large battery manufacturers. That's a $29 billion market around the world, and that's really where we're going. As an adjunct to that, our technology is really, really important in the developing world, where there are anywhere between 800 million and 1.3 billion people that have either no access to electricity or intermittent access to electricity. We believe we can bring clean electricity to those people to help them advance their way of life. In the developed world, we take the access to electricity and to light for granted. In the developing world, the access to electricity and light means the ability to stay safe and to educate yourself. And with education, obviously, comes economic opportunities. So yes, our ultimate aim is to become a competitor and a real alternative to Duracell, Energizer, and the other traditional batteries, but we also believe that in the developing world we can influence and change people's lives.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, for those who aren't too well versed or aware of this technology, we may not really understand the distinct use cases. So do you mind giving us an overview of those use cases and where you've seen it being used most currently and where you intend it to be used in the future?
Yes, as we've developed our technology, we've created our own form factors. So we've got 2 cells at the moment, which kind of replicate C cells and D cells. And we've produced our own torches, which use those fuel cells. And then we've got a power cube, which is a variation of the technology, which provides over 1,800 hours of a light in a lantern form, which we believe is particularly relevant to the developing world. But in the developed world, our fuel cell and torches would be used in everyday circumstances. So from a camping perspective, our biggest cell would produce over 200 hours of continuous light through a torch. In the marine sector, we have something called the Shark Light, which takes 2 of our cells, is ideal in the marine sector where every boat needs to have a working flashlight or torch on it. The fact that our cells are remain at 100% power until such stage as they're activated in water is ideal from a boat and emergency safety perspective. And then also just from an everyday use perspective, we believe that the hydrocell and the torches that we have manufactured deliver an everyday working torch around the home. We're working with many OEM manufacturers, so anywhere from other torch manufacturers that want to use our hydrocell as a fuel source through to toy manufacturers who want to put the hydrocell into some of their automated toys as an alternative to batteries.
Understood. And how's the market responded to these technological advancements and these use cases that you have laid out?
Yeah, so we've spent a lot of time innovating our technology and delivering our technology and working through with our contract manufacturers, getting our production processes perfect and refined. We've just completed a production run at the moment, which unless something goes very badly wrong, we'll have a couple of containers and ships coming towards Australia on the 3rd of February, and then containers going out to the US on the 8th of February. In Australia, we have 3 large retail chains, in total about 700 to 800 stores that have committed to take the product as we landed in Australia. And in the US, we've got a multitude of opportunities we're working through we've got a master agent in the US who's starting to open up opportunities. But the opportunity in Australia is significant, but you multiply that by 5, 10, 15 times as you get into the US. So we've got some real good interest from some key retailers in the camping and leisure space, the hardware space, and the tool space. And we believe we're kind of really on the cusp of commercializing this technology.
Understood. Now, Jerry, let's talk about Hydrocell as a venture and thereby talk about the team behind it. Can you talk to the specific skills and expertise they bring to the table and how they're going to help this venture scale into the near term?
Yes, as I said, we have a highly credentialed board. We've got some high-profile Australian businessmen on that board and international businessmen that bring real potential influences and market opportunities to us internationally. From a team perspective, I've been around for about 3 years. I was brought into the business by one of the directors. I was running his business previous to that. We is in the hospitality space, in the software hospitality space. We tripled the size of his business in 4 years and won the biggest hotel contract in the world. So I bring a lot of financial acumen and business experience and the ability to grow businesses quickly, but in a very controlled and systematic manner. 2 of the founders of the technology remain in the business. So our chief technology officer, who founded really drives the technology and founded the technology and worked out how to put it into the form factor that works, remains in the business. And then we've got 2 really high-profile commercial people on our board. On our management team. One that looks after is ex-McKinsey and looks after the marketing and the strategic direction of the business, and one who's really driving our business development and sales effort and has had significant experience and success in consumer products, anywhere from toys through to power tools, and has grown some leading brands in Australia and internationally.
So Jerry, look, I mean, in terms of a parting message for our audience today, what would you like to perhaps tell to a prospective investor who's assessing this opportunity? And secondly, what milestones they can look forward to over the next 6 to 12 months that you have touched on and haven't touched on already?
Yeah, well, I think one thing we haven't spoken about is just the negative impact that batteries have on the environment. And really, we've spoken a bit about where we want to go and why we want to become a competitor to Duracell. But ultimately, why we want to do that is to help the planet and help the people on the planet. So there'd be anywhere close to 15 billion batteries that get manufactured every year. Some of those get recycled depending where you are, but in Australia, only 3% of batteries get recycled. The vast majority of those end up in landfill and create enormous issues for the environment and for the people that live around landfills. Our battery, as we said, is completely clean. It's recyclable, and as we deliver future milestones, we'll make it completely biodegradable. So we believe one hydrocell at a time, we can actually change the planet. We can get rid of toxic batteries and hopefully get people to use hydrocells. So in terms of milestones, as I said, we're starting to commercialize into Australia and the US. We're looking to really scale the business as we go through 2022. And towards the end of 2022, we've got the prototypes at the moment, but we will be releasing C cells, D cells, and 6-volt batteries, which will then can be used in any application that uses a battery. So that will really be a step change for us. And then towards the end of calendar year 2023, we intend to release AA's and AAA's and potentially 9-volt batteries, again, which can be used as a normal battery in any application. So from an investment perspective, we're moving very quickly to deliver sales revenue and deliver strong, sustainable earnings with a view to potentially delivering a value realization event for our shareholders and new shareholders or new investors in the very near future, within the next 18 to 24 to 36 months.
Excellent. So there's plenty to look forward to, and obviously underlying that is a noble cause. And for anyone who does want to reach out to a representative from Hydrocell, we will have the details on the side of the screen and a link to their deal room. And Jerry, thank you very much for joining me today, and good luck with the venture.
Great. Thank you, Sydney. And again, thank you for the opportunity.
Excellent. Thanks.